School of Management Studies IGNOU presents an audio book on the course MMPC-001 Management Functions and Organizational Processes. Block 1 Introduction to Management. Unit-1 Management and Overview. Part-2. In this unit, we have discussed meaning and definition of management, nature of management, characteristics of management, management and administration. We will discuss the importance of management, function of management, challenges of management.
The importance of management. Management plays an important role in an organization, irrespective of the size, scale, scope, and sector. It facilitates the growth of an organization and stimulates its activities so that the desired results could be achieved. It is important because of many reasons. The first reason is that effective management leads to optimum utilization of resources. Factors like men, materials, money, and machines can be effectively utilized only through management. Second reason is that organizations function through teams and groups. Managers provide the leadership and direct the members of the team towards the achievement of group and organizational goals. Thus, management facilitates the achievement of the individual, team, and organizational goals by leading them towards the achievement of the desired objectives. Management helps in the smooth functioning of the organization through a proper allocation of tasks to the members and monitoring the implementation effectively. This helps the organization to have cordial interpersonal employee relations and sound industrial relations in the organizations. Number 4. Organizations are influenced by a number of internal and external challenges in the organizational environment. The planned activities might get displaced in the event of uncertainty and suddenness of change. Management monitors such changes in the environment and takes care of planned activity by helping the employee to adapt to the changed situation. The recent adaptation to the changes at the workplace due to the pandemic is an excellent example of such a situation. And number 5, management contributes significantly to an improvement in the standard of the organization. Successful managers innovate practices which leads to an improvement of individuals and organizational standards, thus facilitating the creation of best practices in the organization. For example, every year the list of most admired companies globally and most admired CEOs serve as an example for the improvement in the standards of both the industry leaders and organization. Now let's study about the various functions of management. All managers, irrespective of the level, top, middle, and lower, perform management functions. However, the time spent by the managers on these activities differ based on the level at which they are placed. For example, the top managers spend more time on planning and organizing, whereas middle-level managers spend more time on leading the group, directing, and controlling. Similarly, the lower levels spend more time on organizing themselves to execute the task. The primary functions of management are generally grouped under 5 heads. They are planning, organizing, staffing, directing, and controlling. Different thinkers explain the functions in different ways. Luther Gulick discussed the function of management through the acronym POST-CORP, which is related to planning, organizing, staffing, directing, coordinating, reporting, and budgeting. According to Gulick, managers generally perform these functions in the course of their work. Henry Fayol has listed the acronym POCCC as the functions of management. According to him, managers perform 5 functions. They are planning, organizing, coordinating, controlling, and commanding. In general, the primary functions of management are categorized into 5 functions, which are planning, organizing, staffing, directing, and controlling. According to management thinkers, the controlling function includes coordinating, reporting, and budgeting. Now let's discuss these functions in detail. First comes planning. Planning is preparation for future action. It relates to an activity which bridges the gap between the present and the future. The planning functions start after the broad organizational objectives are spelled out to decide the future course of action. This is an all-pervasive function and hence applies to all the levels of management. The functions include setting objectives, strategies, policy formulation, and the consequent laying down of the procedures and programs for the achievement of objectives. It is future-oriented and determines the direction in which the organization is moving. This function involves the ability to foresee the effects of current action in the long run. Planning incorporates both external and internal factors. Some of the external factors include organizational ability to borrow finances, raw materials, economic environment, advancement of technology, global and national policy, etc., while the internal factors include organizational policy, intellectual capital, the financial stability of the organization, etc. Planning, thus, is a continuous activity and determines the future of the organization. Next comes organizing. Organizing is related to the structure of an organization with clearly defined lines of authority and responsibility through which the work is allotted, monitored, and coordinated so that each division and department relate to each other to work together for the achievement of organizational objectives. It involves activities like delegation, fixing authority and responsibility for a smooth conduct of work. Thus, it involves activities like delegation, fixing authority and responsibility for a smooth conduct of work. Thus, it involves the identification of task, assigning the task, defining and delegating the authority, and establishing clear lines of authority and responsibility. The functions also include the blending together of the different factors and actors so that it results in a smooth function in the organization. Third comes staffing. Staffing relates to finding the right people for the right job in the given structure of the organization. It starts with the design of the job, identifying the job analysis, thus paving the way for the recruiting, selecting, placing the people initially and promoting them at a later stage. It also includes the functions of developing the people through training for efficient and effective functioning of their assigned work. Thus, it involves the activity of hiring and retaining the people with skills, competencies, knowledge, and right attitude, which makes the functions very critical in organizational success. Next is directing. This function involves providing good leadership, communication channels, motivation and supervision so that employees are able to function efficiently to attain the desired goals. It consists of the process and techniques which issues the required instruction and monitoring the operation for smooth functioning. The managers communicate and transmit the message for smooth flow of work. The organizational experience has enough evidence of miscommunication or improper communication, leading to organizational failure across the world. It's thus a critical element in the function of direction. Similarly, teams and groups of people require proper guidance from the leaders for effective functioning. Leadership relates to the process of influencing the behavior of people on the job. Leaders motivate the individuals and influence them towards the achievement of individual, group, and organizational objectives. Monitoring and supervising the work of the group provides the assurance of the goal of accomplishment in line with the plan. This activity tracks the progress of the groups and provides the confidence to the leader that the directions are being properly carried out. And the last function is controlling. The function of control consists of those activities that are undertaken to influence that there is no deviation in the plan. The control process includes setting of the standards, performance target, and measures along with corrective action that is taken at different stage of the control process. The function is always misunderstood and throws up a negative connotation of restricting people in their job. This function aims at checking whether organizational objectives are met and action that could be taken in future as the work is in progress. Normally, the budgets, the audit of records, payroll of employees, the items of expenditure, etc. are common examples of checking deviation. This function provides the leads to the planning function by monitoring and checking the deviations. An organization performs these 5 functions for management, which are closely interrelated yet distinct from each other. Challenges of management. Organizations require effective management, but there are several challenges which management has to encounter for effectiveness. And now we are going to talk about some of these challenges. First one is globalization. A number of economies have embraced liberalization, globalization, and privatization, that is LPG, which presupposes that the economies be a signatory and follow the guidelines in terms of trade laid down by the global agencies like the World Trade Organization, International Labour Organization, and also similar agencies which the economies form at the regional level like European Union, South Asian Association for Regional Cooperation, etc. It describes the interdependence of economies, cultures, and people because of the cross-border trade of goods and services, technology, flows of investment, information, and communication. This interconnectedness across people and businesses leads to cultural, political, and economic integration across the economies in the world. Since business could be conducted internationally, management has to take care of the communication challenges, people-related challenges, and business-related challenges. In terms of communication, the role of Internet and the ICT has transformed the world of work and the way businesses are carried out. For example, TCS, an IT company rooted in India, manages its businesses at several locations in the world using the ICT. Millions of users have gone online, and global events like the COVID-19 situation has brought new users in the developing world like China, India, Brazil, etc. As the number of new users is increasing, they're forced to develop content in their own language and customize it to their use on the mobiles and laptops. Thus, the internet has become a force for connecting people regardless of time and location, making it easy for the manager to monitor and manage, but the challenges remain in terms of connectivity, security, speed, and other factors. Further, in developing nations like India, the penetration of internet, especially in the rural areas and hilly regions, in addition to these problems, throws up the challenge of computer illiteracy as a good number of citizens have a low level of education or literacy levels. In terms of people-related issues, Globalization facilitates the acquisition of talent from across the world. The companies benefit by not only having the required talent from across the world, but also use people for back-end support. Many of the MNCs like GE, Microsoft, Accenture, IBM, Google, Apple, etc. have employees who work outside the United States. Similarly, car manufacturers like Renault, Hyundai, Honda conduct their manufacturing operations in India to stay in competition. Thus, globalization has enabled the companies to stay competitive and yet provide service and manufacture products at a competitive cost. The business-related challenges can be seen more in terms of a global marketplace for goods and services. Many companies not only export their products but also assemble their products in other countries. Businesses are thus forced to improve their standard, quality and features to attract the global customer in view of a globalized world. For example, auto giants like Honda, Hyundai, etc. are forced to compete with the local Indian auto players like Tata Motors, who manufacture affordable, cost-effective passenger car with unique features to suit the Indian road and weather conditions. Thus, globalization has thrown up many opportunities and challenges as well. Next challenge is that of technology. The impact of globalization has been quite significant on technology and the technological changes. Technology has revolutionized every sector. It both complicates things and creates new opportunities. The speed with which technological changes take place affect the communication patterns, information content, and knowledge that gets generated, stored, and can be retrieved for organizational use. The world is a witness to the significant changes that has taken place in the technology front with the hardware and software in relation to a computer or other consumables like keyboards, monitors, mouse, the CPU, and other parts. Even in terms of music, we have come a long way from a tape recorder to an audio cassette to a CD to a stage where currently music is embedded in the mobile phone itself. We also hear that Google search can be done in more than 100 languages. Technology is important to business because it serves as a marketplace, a means for manufacturing goods and services, a communication medium, a distribution channel, information service, etc. Technology provides access to a wide range of information, thus making the decision-making function of the manager efficient and effective. In addition, we are all a witness to the design of new products in many sectors, including banking and financial services. Today, technology helps in banking from anywhere for any banking services and products, be it for account summary, investment summary, credit or debit card services, including ATM, to housing loan information, vehicle and personal loan services. The list is endless, and today the citizens across the world are accustomed to digital payments, digital banking, and all this is possible only through the technological advancement. Thus, if globalization has stretched the work days of some people, technological advancement has made it possible to connect people anytime, anywhere. Cell phones, handy tablets, sleek laptops with wireless connection have connected people across the world. In situations like the current pandemic, it is technology alone which has come to the rescue of businesses and people to deliver the services across the world. The third challenge is of workforce diversity. Diversity in English means variety. Diversity exists in organizations when there is a variety of demographic, cultural, and personal differences among the people who work there. Diversity makes good business sense by helping companies attract and retain talented workforce. Diverse, friendly companies attract better and more diverse job applicants. In short, Diversity is no longer about counting heads. It is about making heads count, said the Vice President of Diversity and Inclusion at PepsiCo. While there are advantages of diversity, experience, insight, and creativity of a diverse workforce, managers also have challenges in dealing with diverse workforce. In terms of demographics, companies hire young executives in good numbers, which make it difficult for the manager to team them up with seniors and experienced people. Similarly, companies also hire from different cultures, social and ethnic groups and backgrounds, which make it difficult to manage in a multicultural environment. During the last decade, diversity and inclusion policies of the companies mandated hiring women and from different classes or regions of the nation or globe. The inherent characteristics, personality, perception, attitudes of diverse people differ, which is a challenge to management. Currently, a good amount of awareness training, skill-based diversity training, diversity audits, etc. are being followed by companies to manage diversity. The fourth challenge is of innovation. Innovation is the introduction of new goods and services. Companies are forced to innovate to bring changes in their goods and services and stay in competition. Thus, innovation becomes the key to sell the goods or to satisfy the customer's preferences. Innovation is all-pervasive and has become an important ingredient in business success when e-commerce has been introduced in a big way. Considering the situation like the pandemic, where all the traditional distribution channels have been transformed to attract the buyers directly, marketing and sales had to be innovated to remain competitive. Globalization has been a critical driver for innovation. Businesses have to offer products or services to their clients using innovative techniques and methods to deliver the same at a lower price to stay competitive. Organizational experience evidences innovative business models and practices not only to seize the available opportunity in the business environment, but also achieve competitive advantage. For example, Reliance Industries in India started its operations in textiles and expanded it to every sector like retail, petrochemical, digital, footwear, communication, including geo. Companies thus are required to foster an innovative environment, and the managers have to manage the skills, competencies of innovative people strategically for organizational success. The fifth challenge is of ethics and governance. Globalization has introduced the concept of businesses with no borders, thus allowing businesses to operate anywhere across the world. Managing businesses requires strict adherence to business ethics on a professional level. Governance presupposes the understanding of the rules and regulations, policies and procedures in the different corners of the world, along with the cultural, societal, and personal expectations of ethical actions. Thus, compliance to the ethical code of conduct in business becomes a critical concern for all managers. The sixth challenge is of quality. Quality reflects the excellence of the product or service. The acceptable standards of quality have dramatically increased over the years. Providing world-class quality requires adherence to what quality entails. It can be measured in terms of product performance, reliability, customer service, durability, appearance, quality standards, etc. It is a management challenge to ensure the quality of the product or service. Companies continually innovate so as to add new features as per customer preference and provide services as per the client satisfaction. For example, a quality product like fruits and vegetables, which are organically grown, would be preferred by the customers than those grown with chemicals or frozen foods for health, wellness, and well-being. Next challenge is of cost. Consumers compare cost before making a purchase decision. One reason why the companies worry about cost is because cost leadership always ensures a company's competitiveness. Globalization has provided a wide choice in all the product line for the consumers. Managing the cost requires efficient management of available resources and minimizing waste, all the same ensuring a quality product or service. For example, Reliance Jio, the internet service provider in India, which was launched recently, has challenged established players like Airtel, BSNL and Vodafone in terms of providing internet connectivity with its popular low-cost packages. And the last challenge is change management. 3 facts about change: that it is everywhere, it is constantly present, and the pace of change is experienced by everyone in the current context. Consciously or unconsciously, people dislike change and resist change. In reality, however, change is inevitable and the speed with which the pace of change is taking place is increasing day by day. Contemporary organizations have to welcome change and evolve strategies to survive in the competitive scenario. Factors like technology, cost, and competition have provoked change management in business. Managers have to don the role of a change agent to manage the resistance to change and make change more as the nature of a habit in the process of change management. For example, the changes in learning and development area are so fast that the individuals have no choice than to learn them through internet, e-learning and other online modes willingly in the organizational context. So learners, now let's summarize whatever we have learned so far. Management is defined variously by different authors. Managing organizations through people has been agreed by a majority of them. In practice, it is a process of continually and consciously shaping organizations. All the organizations have people who are responsible for helping them achieve their goals. These people are referred to as managers. The managers perform a number of functions and face a number of challenges to manage the organizations effectively.
You were listening to an audiobook by School of Management Studies, IGNOU, for the MBA program. Course code MMPC-001, Management Functions and Organizational Processes, Block 1, Unit-1, Part-2. Course Coordinator, Professor Neeti Agarwal, SOMS, IGNOU. Voiceover by Harpreet Kaur. Edited by Tarannum Jahan. Program assisted by Jagbandhu Jana and produced by Manoj Kumar Singh. This program was brought to you by Electronic Media Production Center of Indira Gandhi National Open University.